Welcome back to Bronze League Heroes. In the bottom right, one of two Terrans. Of course, it is two Terrans. It's always two Terrans, except for the rare time. It's always two Terrans. In the bottom right, we already said all this. Meph. And in the top left, who has built a supply depot on 12, a refinery on 12, and has sent 2 SCVs to his opponent's natural. Zorro. That is a very, very committed proxy ranks. Not a single SCV has been built. They've only been contracted to build cheeky barracks. And he's going to make sure he has those depots ready. Is this Proxy Reaper? There's a small chance of Proxy Marauder. Maybe the gas is for a planetary. I'm not here to speculate. I'm here to commentate. This SCV going to wall off. Will there be a tech lab? Oh, no. That's Marine. He's building a Marines. Back in the good old days of early Wings of Liberty, you didn't even have to build a supply depot in order to build your first racks. And what that means is that much of the first year of StarCraft was proxying multiple barracks and then building a bunch of Marines and then winning the game. You might be like, how? LOL, says Zorro. I have the sneaking suspicion he is not indeed laughing out loud. Unfortunately, that barracks was a little close. Meph struggling here. There are 2 Reapers on the way now. There's a Reaper follow-up. Ooh, he's even got the fancy War Chest skins. More barracks coming up, but the Reapers definitely throw another dimension into the mix. He's going for all the depots. Finally, some focused fire. The bunker is manned by a singular Marine. The SCVs are protected inside of it. Will there be some who repair? Marine dies. He's going to try to make it to the bunker. He does. Another bunker is building. There are Reapers. He could invade the bunkers. Remember, it's 23 SCVs to 12. So, while this is... Oh, the boys are pulled. But the Marines are not. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's just trying to even up that worker count and free up supply. The SCVs don't do well against multiple Reapers and Marines. Down goes a bunker. The supplies are even. Down goes the only supply depot. He's going to try to get a 3rd Marine out. The rest of the boys. He comes out of the depot. Another Marine killed. 3 Reapers at the bottom of the ramp. Does he micro back? Oh, the boys will drive him out. But we have to ask the eternal caster question. At what cost? The Reaper micro. Meph now has less workers than he started with. Zorro has simply just not built any. The boys. Citizens arrest on one of the Reapers. The tech lab going to burn, but not a huge factor here. The boys are driving the Reapers back, but they will suffer heavy losses. Meph is struggling. Another bunker. All the SCVs will be killed. All that going into this beautiful... All 23 actions per minute used to micro those Reapers. This is why Zorro proxy racks is because doing anything back at home at the same time would be far too dicey. I threw myself off there. That's 4 Reapers. They're gonna kill a bunker. Oh, Zorro with the massive vocabulary repeats himself. L-O-L. That's 2 yellows, by the way, and that's gonna be a red card, but There are no referees in the game. And we can't throw them out for that. It's up to Meph. 3 Reapers will be taking out the supply depots. The other 2 finish reloading. These supply depots also built in very vulnerable locations. Zorro gonna look for blood. He's already found so much of it. It's 6. I mean, Meph has essentially nothing here. He's not mining. He can't kill the Reapers. He has no minerals. It's a bloodbath. This is it. 4 Marines do not beat 6 Reapers. No amount of fudging the numbers is going to solve that. A planetary fortress being built back at home. Long distance mining from Meph. He's trying. He's trying. But unfortunately, Zorro seems to have carved out a insurmountable... The only thing, that last bunker is protecting the very little long-distance mining that is happening. You will get 1 Reaper. But these SCVs, 25 have died, and that won't be the end of it. Ah, Reapers trying to engage. No, 2 of the precious Marines. He will get a Reaper. Okay, that's something. Zorro has never built an SCV in his life. Legend has it. The Legend of Zorro. Says Zorro. Hearts. Ho. LOL is the summary. Meph. Filled with determination. But lacking heavily in units. The struggle. You gotta feel for Meph. We've all been here. And I truly feel that part of the reason Meph has yet to leave the game is Zorro's comments. But Zorro really milking his 2nd game out of 2 this week. For all it's worth. Meph is now long distance mining. Like, he's trying. He's exhausting so many. That is 11 Reapers. He still has yet to build an SCV. And for the very first... I thought he was about to build a barracks at home. No. He's just gonna fly there. LOL. Zorro really exhausting all of his SAT words here. And by SAT, of course, I mean sad-ass Terran. He's building +1 infantry weapons for his Reapers. Meph is still long-distance mining. He's almost got enough for a factory, if that's the direction he wants to go. Zorro up to almost, well, over 30 actions per minute now. You don't want to get carpal tunnel. Got to be careful about that. He's looking for another base. And the only way to do it, of course, is with all of his Reapers. Because otherwise, what is he going to do if he finds a planetary? You don't want just one Reaper on its own. They hunt in packs. The barracks will be driven out. Will this trigger the Reapers to come back now that they once again realize, with the attention of a particularly angry and dual pistol-wielding squirrel? Barracks is driven away. Meph is back up. Zorro Oh, Zorro. Oh, Zorro. Zorro, the type of person to say his opponent got lucky when they happen to have any amount of units to defend the Reapers. Zorro, the type of person to ask, not unironically, of why offensive GGing is so bad when you're winning the game. Zorro, the type of person who, if you put all of his precious few IQ points together, would be lucky to reach room temperature. He finally figures out the command center is a viable target. The command center burns. Can I get a lol count? 1, 2. I'm gonna give it 3. Well, I'm not counting that. 4, 5. We got 6. Oh, I missed this. Hola. 6 lols so far, which is it might be a new Bronze League Heroes record. Says Zorro. He adds. 1 Reaper will use the rest of the ammunition that the Reapers have put together. And he will be the one to pick up all the XP from the kill. That command center. Oh, it was on an A click, not a right click. The boys. Oh, the micro. The micro. Meanwhile, Zorro is still at 12 SCVs. Meph is back at 12 SCVs. It feels this is Zorro's attempt, such as it is, at trolling, as they say. To be honest, with 3,300 minerals, even with his 30 actions per minute, he's pretty confident he's locked down this victory. And he continues to exude that misplaced confidence. Repeatedly. Over and over. That is what repeatedly means. But in the chat. I'm not sure what he expects this game to come to. But his opponent, surprisingly enough, is the first one. Wow. He might fancy himself a masterful baiter, but only out of game. Meph has taken the supply lead. He has more workers. He's macroing up. The factory is nearly complete. Zorro has enough money for 10 more command centers almost. But he's focused on his LOL builds. The select army hotkey is mashed. Says Zorro. And I truly believe he put both hands and made that emoji at his computer, because that would explain his actions per minute. There is a Widow Mine that is supply blocked out. 1 more depot's on the way. A Widow Mine wouldn't hurt. He doesn't really have much gas to work with, as he's been struggling. I'm not sure what Zorro's endgame is, as he lay trolls XDs his opponent. He's toying, he's playing with his food, but if you play with your food long enough, sometimes it gets away. There are not enough Marines to engage these Reapers. A Widow Mine, gonna get a little closer. Oh. Zorro with more Reapers. The Reaper count is now at 19. Meph is, he's finding a place to put those mines. Zorro is laser focused. The Widow Mine actually hits super hard here. And he loses several Reapers. He's trying to bait into a second one. He will be successful. Down goes 3 more. Progress is being made. Will Zorro now just be inspired to attack? He might have to pull out that Prima strategy guy. Oh, the command center! The battle continues. Oh, Zorro will be mining out soon. He's running out of mineral patches, but I don't think he's going to be hurting for minerals. Meph is struggling still. There's one more Widow Mine. He's building a Hellion. You gotta feel for... LOL, that brings us to... I'm gonna give it... That's 9. That's 9 lulls. Plus, I gotta give, like... I don't even know what that emoji is. I don't even know how to make that emoji in the chat. So, what does it say about Zorro that he does? Well, I don't think anyone's surprised at this point. The Widow Mine looking for an opportunity. The command center under attack. And it's gone. Down goes the Hellion. Meph is trying so hard. But Zorro may be correct when he thinks he's in a unlosable position. He's putting himself in the only position. Zorro only speaks in laughter. Like a psychopath. There's not much more to be done or to be said. I'm still not entirely clear as to whether or not Zorro was trying to kill him or trying to troll him. But it appears to have ended. Either way. He's gonna let him go. Well, at this point, it's very clear. That's 11. We're 11 on the lull counter. Wow. This is why he doesn't say real words. Because he has never used them before. It is clear. You have a problem with something? Okay. The exchange begins. Okay, is the response. Meph gonna employ some chat ticks in order to try to get it back into this game. Zorro has never built a factory or an SCV in his entire career, which means all 4 of his last games have been proxy raxes. Meph is going to do... Well, he's still here. He's making what I would argue is an accurate calculation that the amount of mental damage he's doing to his opponent outweighs the suffering he himself is experiencing for every minute that passes here. For every minute that passes, for every lull or pseudo-lull in the chat, Zorro slips closer to madness. And at some point, he may be driven to insanity. And so will we, here, en masse, but... And then, who will surrender, is the question. The Reapers are back in the main. Nope. Oh, he finished a barracks. If he had gotten a planetary, we might be able to have another conversation. There's enough Hellions. There's enough Hellions. Are there enough Hellions, though? He's trying to micro. I mean, kind of, is the answer. But there are actual fighting units now that can potentially kill Reapers, depending on the angle. Ah! Says Zorro. LOL. We're back to the basics. But this reminds me, we have... Jimmy has set up the most important thing we have ever added. Or has he? I don't know. I'll have to check that later. The Hellions are being repaired. Zorro has not yet... is he expanding for the very first... Okay, Zorro. Oh my. I'm gonna reach through the internet. Such a... Okay, here we go. Such a great player you are. When I grow up, I want to be just like you. Meph with a strong tactic. Thank you, friend. Says Zorro. And it's unclear. Can I get a ja in the comments? It's unclear whether or not Zorro is convinced he's being sarcastic. Meph, that sarcasm was so... Well, that comment was dripping with so much sarcasm at this point. You could just collect it into, I don't know, a bathtub and sell it as humorous bathwater. Which is a true pro gamer move. For the very first time in his StarCraft career, Zorro builds a command center. Meph at the same time as well. There is a single Reaper. One Liberator could potentially win the game on its own. There's enough Hellions to kill these Reapers now. Especially if the Reapers can't see them. Okay. Meph is... I mean, just the fact we're still in this game is probably a bit of a spoiler. And we're here. Not so much for the gameplay. Ah! Says Zorro. But for the experience. Well, the starport is under attack. The starport building the Liberator, which is the key to everything. Meanwhile, the planetary in the main, down goes the starport. High-sec auto... He mines out just as the Hellions get here. The planetary is killing the Hellions. The Hellion finally finds a safe corner. And then it doesn't. Where did the Reapers go? Well. Ah! That's Zorro. No. No, or as they say in Espanol, no. Wow. That is a lot of emojis. Yep. A sensor tower is on the way alongside the planetary. Zorro sticking to his no SCV building ways. Meanwhile, Meph has built an orbital at his other base, which is an interesting play, considering he never built an orbital in his main. So... the Reapers are back for their harvest. There's literally been no unit. Zorro is just playing with his food at this point. And laughing up a storm. It's very likely he is indeed a baked potato at this point, if you would, but... the elephant is in the room. Is this one of those games that we're only seeing because at the very end, Zorro dies to one unit that he's not expecting because he's been trolling for 20 minutes? I don't know. Or does he end up winning when he eventually realizes, my opponent is actually not entirely dead yet? He still hasn't built any more SCVs. He's getting building armor. More production is being built out on the map. More Reapers on the way as well. The Widow Mines are burrowed. This barracks is just chilling. Somehow an SCV slipped out at some point and built this base, and Zorro has yet to scour the map. A sensor tower does not shoot anything or detect. It just sees any units that might... Zorro. I'm sorry, I need a new count. We'll work backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I never noticed this part. What? Wait, what? Even... What? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'll count it. 15, 16, 17, 18. So the lull per minute is around like 0.6, 0.7 so far. Which isn't bad for a mediocre Netflix stand-up special, but unfortunately, we're all sitting down for this, at least for the most part. And, well, what a waste. One Liberator. A Raven is being built for Zorro. And Combat Shield. Though he has no... As well as all the other units you can build in a barracks. Zorro is branching out. His tech tree is growing. What inspired this? I'm not sure. Little does he realize there is any amount of any other units and or bases. You gotta keep up you gotta keep those numbers up. You gotta pump those LOL numbers up. The LOL PM cannot be too slow. What was that, 19? The orbital a little on the late side here for Meph, but better late than never. He's got a lot of SCVs stacked up, waiting to be a part of this. Oh yeah, he's really pumping those numbers up. He's like, I found in the dozens of APM I am utilizing, I can maybe slip in 1 or 2 more LOLs per minute without hurting my build, which is a nice move. Well done there. Oh my god, what are they dumping? No consideration. Oh, the Reapers. Wow. 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 Zorro gets revenge. Lol. He's really pumping those numbers up. Meanwhile, a Liberator realizes there's nothing left to kill here, but there's plenty left to kill. So wait a second. All of the SCVs, remember, he hasn't built an SCV this entire game. He's down to 7, 6, 5, 4. Lost. Oh, another Liberator. We'll kill... Oh, the entire army is coming back. Even though much of it has no capability of shooting at the Liberator. There's a single SCV. Where is it? Mining gas in the main. Of course, he just gave up. Okay, now he's going this way. We're unclear what lost means in this sense, otherwise, because this game is just about as confusing as the critically acclaimed TV series. Oh, getting back to basics. He's like, well, no more Mr. Nice, Zorro. Unfortunately, with the medevac there, everything on the ground going to be obliterated. Deliberate. Some variety in there. Everybody knows that variety is important. We gotta stay dynamic, stay robust. Gotta maximize that uniqueness coefficient. The command center is on fire on today's episode of Will It Burn? Ooh, nah. Les, I don't. The answer is yes. I don't know what that means. Is he saying his last two SCVs because he doesn't have SCVs? Nobody knows. Did that even stand for last? He can technically see the Widowmons. Widowmon hits. He could see it as it shot at him, though. That's very important. Another one. Zorro is no longer mining. Meph has survived. Now, it hasn't all been his doing, but he has survived, and that is more than half of the battle. LOL. Zorro trying to keep those numbers up. He still refuses. I'm still... It's unclear. It does not appear this was some sort of custom game. Meph is obviously... He was not happy about the situation, based on his few comments. Zorro does actually kill the command center. Does he realize at this point you can build command centers in other locations? He did earlier. He may have forgotten about that. The Reaper sacrifices itself to kill the Widowmon unnecessarily, but valiantly. He breaks the knees of that precious Widowmon. The SCV will repair it and die for the cause. Unfortunately, the long-distance mining, he didn't act... Oh, what the heck? Oh, my. Okay, well. Yeah, Zorro is super dead. Of course. This was more predictable than your average Star Wars movie. But... obviously, the question now is what is there left to be said? I mean... do you think Zorro was gonna send this in, let alone know how to access replay files? This was more than likely submitted by the survivor, the man who now has 5 tanks, multiple liberators, multiple bases, and a massive chip on his shoulder. Which I don't even understand that term. But it's something that people say in this context. Like a chip of what? Like, anyways. Like a wood chip. Why, though? Long-distance spawning continues. Alright, let's go to the Zorro action cam. Unfortunately, we can't see his keyboard or his controller type using the on-screen keyboard of his PlayStation 2 in order to type in the letters. Which is why he sticks to usually 2 letters per message for max. Wow. And that's it? What a disappointment. With nothing to say for himself, with not even a sensible chuckle, I think that the conclusion is that Zorro, up until the very end, assumed that that food was still on his plate, ready to eat. Little did he know that that small, that whatever he killed, its older brother, who was a grizzly bear in this situation. Don't worry about it. It's an anime, all right? Don't think about the storyline. Came up behind him, and then he turned around dramatically, and the bear just mauls his face off. And Zorro says nothing because he just leaves the game. So that was 30 plus minutes. Meph was dead. Let's make no mistake. This wasn't like he doesn't know how to kill him. Zorro had every ability and knowledge of how to kill him. From 4 or 5 minutes in. Now the question is, if this is on YouTube, do I think that will this be more popular for the people than your dramatic action-packed games? Is the saltiness and caveman-like vocabulary and APM of Zorro worth people decades into the future in the Library of Congress watching this to see? How many people skipped to this part at the very end to see how it ended after realizing that he was dead for 15 to 20 minutes? Well, we're here now. And if you did, of course, like and subscribe and ring the bell. And I will remember you when myself and PewDiePie are competing for 1 billion subscribers. Bronze League.